Hi. I am here to talk about Gary from the SpongeBob SquarePants franchise, and I think Gary works perfectly well as a supporting character, a character that can have some nice moments here or there, not necessarily one of the primary characters that I think of when I think of SpongeBob, but not a bad character to have around. And um, Gary oftentimes feels like a character that's there for some quick moments, but Gary can be pretty prominent in some other episodes, like the episode where Gary goes missing, where uh, there's a very emotional song that's really good. And Gary is a very sympathetic character for most of that episode, where Gary could seem like one of the most sympathetic SpongeBob characters for a lot of the episode, with SpongeBob feeling kind of out of character for a lot of the episode, with him seeming to forget about and ignore Gary, which seems very odd. But Gary seems to oddly enough bring out SpongeBob's emotional soft side a lot of times, but oftentimes it seems like SpongeBob's more unlikable side. Oddly enough, very weird. Where the episode where SpongeBob is like being a coach and is being really hard on Gary, which seems very weird for SpongeBob to do. Where SpongeBob is so friendly to so many characters, and I feel like Gary would be one of the characters he would be the nicest to, right up there with characters like Patrick and his parents and his grandmother and characters like that. But so that's odd in the infamous episode where SpongeBob brings another character into the house. Like I think it's supposed to be another pet that's really creepy and horrible to Gary. That is one of the SpongeBob episodes I don't like. A lot of later SpongeBob episodes I actually think are fine, and some of them I actually think are really funny and entertaining. That one I have a really hard time defending. I actually think my favorite Gary moment is where I think SpongeBob um, goes into like Gary's dream or something, where Gary actually gets to speak, and it seems like Gary is secretly very sophisticated. That seems really interesting, and I feel like if that hasn't been explored more in any other episodes and other seasons, that would be a cool thing to explore and get to see more of Gary's character. Overall, I do think that Gary is a solid character, not one of the big standout characters in my personal opinion, but still a solid, decent character.